And we are live Friday night. Let's move the camera a little bit backwards. There we go. Let's see if we have anybody join. I thought that I'll answer a few questions about or from yesterday. So I have a question here from, see, everybody's up Friday night. Why are you guys not at the bar? Party. I have to put my glasses on that I can see who's here. Hey, peeps. This is an experiment for me, first of all. I wanted to see, I started to do daily live. Hi, Mirka. I started to do a daily live messages from animals, and I did it like 5 p.m. Finnish time, almost like every day. And I started to think that, people are just coming from the work and over the seas, like Los Angeles, New York. It's just beginning of the day, early morning. So this is my experiment now. I'll see what happens. It's like 8 p.m. here in Finland. And I believe it's like a little bit before noon in Costa Rica and New York and so on and so forth. So hello everybody, good evening. A couple days ago I did a live feed and there was a message from a frog. I'm gonna go a little bit backwards and I'm gonna talk about a little bit the same stuff, but it doesn't matter. So anyway, the frog was telling us how he sees us people and how he sees our life and what's going on, and how much humor God actually had when she created a human being and so forth, and how we are always laughing at other beings, and sometimes we might be even scared of the frog and so on. So anyway, there's like a lot of opinions coming our way from all these wild animals. And so there was a question asked that, how is it possible? How is it popsicle? Like a little 4-year-old says, how is it popsicle that all these animals have all these ideas and thoughts, and how is it even possible that they know what we people are like? I have the question here so I can look at it. Yeah, so how is it possible that they know? And I said that in my opinion, in my experience, animals are connected all the time, like 100% connected through the web of love. So 2011, I wrote a book, The Power of Silent Wisdom, which is not unfortunately translated in English. And my past horse started to give me all these different messages, and all these different animals gave me all these different messages, and I wrote them down. And back then my horse told me that, one of these days, some point in your life, you will understand what it means to be part of the web of life or web of love, like she called it. I didn't understand shit at the time, but I thought that, sounds like a cool concept, whatever you guys are talking about. So, and she showed me this web around the planet. It looked like, you see a vision, it's like an imaginary thing that you see in front of you. And I didn't even believe that to be true at the time. But I thought that since that was a channeled message, I'm going to write it down. So it was like a spider web. And there were like little lights flickering around that web. And then she explained to me that these lights are all different beings connected through this web. And then she said all the animals and nature and trees and earth and grass and everything is already connected. And people are the ones that you can connect if you want to, but you can disconnect also if you want to. Hard concept for me. Hard concept. I didn't get it. And I didn't know when is my time to actually understand that fully. But I kept talking about it since at some point in time it started to become really true for me. And more so-called spiritual I became, more I started to, think about it and wanted to understand about it. And since I talked about animal communication, always when I communicated with, doesn't matter which animal, they were always so full of love and light and, without all these bitter hatred, envy kind of feelings and emotions that we people have. And all of them, every once in a while, some of them more, some of them less, but the message was that they are all connected through this web of love. So a little bit over a year ago, I got my first experience with plant medicine. It was hard, probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I didn't even realize how much stuff I had inside of me that needed to be healed. There was like this, I've been talking about this, but if you're listening for the first time, it's pretty interesting. I had like chronic anxiety. I had very, very severe panic attacks. I was highly addicted to beer, especially. Well, alcohol, that matter, but I didn't drink hard liquor. I was drinking beer or wine to self-medicate, to numb the anxiety and, like relax and chill and whatever. I didn't want to face the hard emotions and whatever. Those kind of things were healed in like couple days, couple nights sitting with the plant medicine. Well, then we got to go there to Costa Rica to Rhythmia. I have the experience the second time. So every time you go into the experience, you can have your intention and you can have your wish, or you can talk to the medicine what you would like to experience. Is there something you need to heal? And you will still, no matter what, the medicine will always bypass whatever wants and wishes and, human you might have. So it was a Wednesday night. I went in and I said, I'm scared shitless. I'm like petrified I'm gonna be throwing up and all that. And then I just said to the medicine that I love you, I appreciate you, I trust you completely, and I know that I will be in good hands, so you do whatever you need to do. So what happened, and then I said, my wish is to be able to receive. To receive whatever I need to receive, whatever I need to be able to, kind of get. And I was like, I'm so hard for me to receive all the good stuff also, because I've been so freaking hard on myself. So going in and, it started kind of softly and whatever, but during the night, it all turned around and I got to receive. Now I'm going to the web of love and I'm going to discuss a little bit about that. So what actually happened and can happen, now it doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens a lot of times, that the pineal gland opens up, like your DMT that you naturally produce in your brain and in your body activates so much that you start actually seeing everything. And at that point, I just heard a voice that said, now is your time to receive. And now is just your time to receive. You guys, there's so many of you that have heard this story already, but it's still interesting, since I'm gonna go to the question what was asked from yesterday's live. I can a little bit later read the question what it says. So anyway, I start seeing, first of all, I turn on my stomach and I start looking over the forest, which in this case, because we're in Costa Rica, palm trees and some pine trees and some different trees. I'm looking over the there's like trees and these awesome hotel rooms and whatever. Behind there are 3 palm trees. And there is a medicine music, the Icaro songs, they're playing all the time. And the shaman is singing, and I'm looking at the trees, and the trees start dancing, completely in sync with the music. And I'm like, what the bloody craziness is going on? And the palm trees are dancing, you know, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like laying on my stomach, I'm looking at them. Suddenly, my tongue comes out. And I start sniffing around, and I'm like, what's happening? And there's a dog that they have there. They call it a shaman dog, a Kayla. And I hear her voice, like I know that it's the dog, but I hear actual spoken words. As she says, now you are me, and I am showing you how I see through my eyes as a dog. And so I start seeing everything like the dog sees. And then the craziest thing happens. And this is the thing, I can tell this story 100 times over, since it's the most amazing thing that ever happened to me, and relates to the question, is it possible for every one of us? Or are the humans the only ones? It was Kirsi who asked a very legit question again. Are we as humans the only ones that don't know how to consciously, or are we the only ones that can't consciously connect to the web of love? How is it possible? All the animals are already there, constantly connected. And is it possible for us to connect? So one thing that we have to understand through what I experienced, what I saw, it was like, I can't explain it to you guys. First of all, the love that you feel from the universe, from every single being around you, every little blade of grass and this grain of sand and everything that you feel, it's so overpoweringly overwhelming that you can't put it in words. It's nuts. Then you start seeing, well, I saw, it was like a neon green, I say that it's a web, but it's because when you think about web as like a web, you start thinking consciously like different kind of spider webs or webs made out of ropes or something. It's completely different. It's like full-on brightest HD picture you can imagine, how everything is connected, how everything is already connected. So the thing is, it doesn't matter what you want to call it. Is it a web of love, web of life? Is it just the connection between all of us? It doesn't matter. Since I want to answer the now the actual question, we are already in it, all of us. It doesn't matter how consciously you think about it. It doesn't matter how conscious you are about it. Do you know it or don't know it? You're already connected anyway. And that is the most beautiful thing of everything. And she asks, am I some kind of special that I can connect with animals and talk with animals? And I've been doing animal communication from year 2000, 2001, something like that. Consciously, connecting, learning, doing it over and over and over. I'm airline mechanic from my vocation. I was trained to be an airline mechanic. I worked for Finnair 21 years. My mom used to be a hairdresser. My dad was a welder. So nothing special there. I lost my first dog. I learned to understand that there is a thing called animal communication, and I started to study it, and I started to learn, and I read everything I could read about it, and I kind of got more into it. So everybody, first of all, everyone can learn. And that doesn't mean, even that I do that kind of work, it does not mean that I am somehow special and somehow more open or connected. You all are connected. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are. Like it or not, you watching this, you are connected to me. You are connected to my eyes. You are connected to my pen. You are connected to your phone. You're connected to every single person, blade of grass, grain of sand, everything. We are already connected. It doesn't matter if you understand about it, know about it, if you ever heard about it. It doesn't matter, since it's and at that point, under the influence of plant medicine, I understood it. And to understand that when I had my severe anxiety, when I was drinking, when I was partying, when I was being an asshole to my ex-girlfriend, when I was being hard on even Ingela, before I understood these things. She was, by the way, the first person to tell me that there is something so wrong that we need to get to the bottom of it. And we got, and the huge gift we got to teach in Rhythmia, and we are going there again in March and so on. But anyway, I saw it then, that already when I was doing all that, and when I had all these things going in my mind and in my heart, and I had that my solar plexus was tight, and my throat chakra was tight, and my crown chakra was completely blocked, and even at that time I was doing animal communication because I believed in it, my own experiences with it. But I didn't completely understand. If I'd understand back then how connected I was to every single thing being around me, I would have probably acted differently. I would have probably gotten easier away from my anxieties and all these different things, and life would have been so much easier and nicer and kinder. And this means from myself toward myself. And we all know how it is. We are so hard on ourselves. And to know that we are all connected. There's, I don't know, I see there's like little over 10 people, 11, 15 people watching this. And we are connected, all of us. I'm connected to you, you are connected to, you know, the 6 degrees of separation is so true. It doesn't matter, we are connected to everything and everyone. But when you start looking at that, you even know pretty much every person in the planet, and, you know, their animals and pets. And so therefore, since we are all connected, I think it's so, the concept that is so hard to understand is why there is still so much hardship and so much sadness and so much, you know, abuse and animal abuse and all that. And you know, I can't judge person in China before I look at myself and do the changes here, and it is so hard. But to know that we are all connected, the only thing that I can say that might help you to understand is what the animals have taught me. And it's before you love the abuser as much as you love the abused, nothing in this world change. Before you love the butcher as much as you love the animal, nothing will ever change. When you start loving the hunter as much as the prey, things start changing, and this is the only way we can change things. And when you see something that you don't like, the only thing or only way to approach these things are through compassion. And I've seen a lot of I've seen the side. Well, I'm gonna jump a little bit and then I'm gonna stop talking and let you enjoy your Friday night. But I have to say this: I've seen sides with animal rescues and animal advocates. I've seen the good side and I've seen the bad side, and I've said that I always, before I jump into anything or start helping actively, I need to go and see what actually happens. I've seen money being pocketed from the dog rescues. I've seen, you know, I can't, probably it's not right that I'll even mention these things, but I've seen stuff happening in United States that it's not cool. And but I've seen, more than I've seen that side, I've seen the good side. And when people come from, and this is my opinion, from that side with the heart, they never judge the people that they rescue the animals from. There is a lot of compassion. And one thing I want to say, I've worked with here in Finland with people that are professional in that they get the phone calls and they go check the homes when there is animal abuse called in, and they say that every time that there are children in the family, they always go with the police and social workers. So that's also not something that is black and white. So, you know, when there are people that are abusing the weaker beings, or it always involves everything. And again, we are connected to that. So when you hear these kind of things, think with compassion, think that you share your heart with that person that is doing something that you might not feel is right, or you might feel that is totally wrong, and you want to go and harm them, or you get angry, and, you know, try to find that little piece of compassion. Because the one truth that I've also learned from animals is that we all do always what we feel is right. So the person doing something bad, something's done to them at some point in time. And with this, I hope that Kirsi is gonna watch this, because there's you know, the thing that I answered about the whole live feed was about connection, how we all connected. And I mean, I love this subject. I love animal communication. I love, you know, doing my messages. I love teaching. I love talking. I love doing my animal mediumship stuff. And I know that my partner Ingela, she does the healing part, and she's an amazing, amazing healer. I've all these years that I've been on this path, I've never seen anybody so doing her work from heart and being so freaking amazingly good. And, you know, you might think that that's bias, but when I get a healing from her, I'm almost like I can't walk after that. I have to go right to bed and sleep. It's so powerful. But anyway, yeah. So I love what I do. I love talking. I could be sitting here and just see that there are a couple people listening. I could just talk all night, and I'm so happy that you guys come in and you join and you listen. And please share if you wanna share this with your friends. If there's something that resonates, and you can share. You can go to my professional site here in Facebook. I try to share good stuff there. We have another group, Sacred Animal Wisdom and Silent Healing, that we share animal communication teachings. Actually, it's all in English so everybody can understand. And I'm sorry that I am not doing this in Finnish, since the messages it's going so much wider at the moment, so I need to do this in English. And I do love you, every single one of you. I don't mind and care where you're from. Are you from Finland? Are you from China or are you from India, United States, Costa Rica? I love every single one of you. Oh, and if my family in Spain is watching this, I want to say I love you and I miss you. We have gained so many wonderful friends and family during our travels, and we are all connected. We are all connected, and I want to finish with what I always say. We are all connected by forces way more powerful and higher we can ever imagine. And I'm so glad that I got to talk to you, and I'll talk to you soon again. I love you all. I love you, I love you, I love you. Bye.